again. How nice to see you. You surprised us there. She's getting sick of my jokes. Send help. Somebody help her.
I'm not sick of the jokes. I'm just tired today.
Yeah, we have been busy, strangely, at home. You'd think that we would be having a coronation, but it is not a coronation for us.
It feels like bailing water and like plugging holes as fast as we can.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. We feel like we're in a ship with lots of different sized holes. So yeah, it's a conversation every 15 minutes about which one to plug first. And I know that that's kind of like probably what a lot of people and small businesses and just everyone is kind of feeling right now too. Is like, how do we make this ship float for as long as we can? But speaking of ships, did you like that segue?
That was great.
We have some card packs now available on our website. We call them the isolated but connected packs.
Connected or together?
Oh, isolated but together?
Isolated but together.
Is that
what we call them.
Oops. Yeah, something like that. So now we have on our website available, you can buy these curated packs of cards. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flip the camera so you can see what they actually say. Morgan, who has Roland sleeping on her. Vanna. So friendship is the best ship unless you're on a cruise right now.
Don't do that.
Don't go on a cruise. For those of you who know and love Friday Night Lights, this is one of our favorite cards.
This has been a bestseller. I've shipped so many of these in the past 2 weeks. So what we did is we put together what's been selling more than anything in groups of 4. So this is the friendship pack. This one's so cute. I love the Segway guy.
It's the only time people on Segways are acceptable on a greeting card.
But we've put together these set of 4 cards for $20. So you can get these on our website. That's the friendship pack. This is the like kind of graduation, Mother's Day, holding it down.
Person going through a transition sort of period here. This one of my favorite ones, Paperclip of the Year, because you hold it all together.
I mean, there's a lot of people falling apart, but
yeah,
in between the falling apart, the holding it together bit.
You have a good thank you card for someone who's like, you know, getting
Doing
your groceries.
nice, talking to you on the phone, listen to you cry.
Staying 6 feet away from you. Next adventure. I feel like a lot of people are using this time for like a shift, you know?
Reflection.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a great graduation card.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Which, you know, it doesn't say graduation because so many people aren't going to have a graduation this year, but we think it's like, you know, you lost your job or you got a graduation. Yep. This is our best-selling Mother's Day card.
Mom.
This is what things sound like in our house.
Or bot, Millie, bot.
So that's a second pack. And then this is the pack that we're calling the oh shit pack. And I love little hair on this friend.
I know things. I think we should amend this to say that things really stink right now.
Also, like, we're healthy, you know? Like, I just feel like there's so many people who are fighting to be healthy. And we're just lucky to be home and healthy so far. But, you know, I want to acknowledge there are people fighting much more important fights than us right now.
Yeah.
But this one's great, too.
I could use some peace, especially when I go to the bathroom. It'd just be nice to just have 2 minutes to myself. We have 3 little kids.
And this one's called Holy Shit. This might be like the #1 best-selling card right now. Is the Pope on the toilet.
I wonder if he has enough toilet paper.
Interesting.
I bet the Pope has enough toilet paper.
The Vatican has toilet paper. They might have bidets at the Vatican.
Oh, yeah. You know what? They're sensitive about that stuff.
So you can get a set of 4 cards for $20 on the website. And we're shipping out 2 to 3 times a week. So they'll get to you shortly. The other thing we did is, I know it's strange, but a lot of people don't have postage stamps anymore. If you pay your bills online or your bank sends a check to your...
Not like stores are out of postage stamps. It's just that a lot of people just don't have them on hand.
Anymore. Yeah. So we have postage stamps and we added them to the website. You can order stamps if you order the cards. We didn't include it because we know some people probably have stamps. You can add on some stamps to your order.
And they're just the cost of a stamp. It's not like we're
not
extra
profiting. We're just trying to keep those postal carriers going. So welcome everyone. It is Monday,
March 30th.
and we're here to do some lettering. Do you want to tell the people that you have a snafu?
I did have a snafu, guys. So the letter H is like somewhere in the atmosphere, but it's somewhere, it's just not here.
You know what? You shared it to stories though, right?
I did share it to stories, but those go away after 24 hours.
No, there's an archive.
What?
Yeah.
What? You guys, this is the best news. I thought I had the letter H lost forever and ever.
Yeah, Arlie told me this morning she had lost it, and then it didn't occur to me because it hadn't had it.
All right. Well, Morgan has been promoted to the IT department director, aside from other things that she does.
H, right?
And it was the letter H. Yeah. Can you find that?
That was.
She's gonna look at that. And awesome! Valerie, hey Valerie, how's it going? Just got your beginner's hand lettering kit in the mail yesterday. Love it. Thanks. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for letting us know you got it. Thank you for all the awesome love. What's up, awesome Brooklyn? You're one of our retailers. Hope you guys are hanging in there.
How's the tooth? Poor Awesome's husband's tooth had to get pulled this morning.
Oh no.
And they're also waiting to hear, this is great, I wish the whole country would do this, but in New York they're waiting to hear whether there's a rent freeze for businesses. And I don't know if it applies to, maybe Awesome can tell us, if it applies to residential things too, or if it's just for businesses, but
H is very important in my little world. Yes, we are going to work on getting that H up.
I think it's in here somewhere.
Okay, Morgan's going to look for it. If not, we are going to do our best to
There's like an archive.
To get that back to you guys. But in the meantime, I am uploading yesterday's class, so that's going to be available soon. Oh, he's better. Awesome says.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, that's great. Cool. Well, we have a guest teacher here today, folks. Meatball is going to be teaching the class. He is very excited about the letter K for cat. Little does he know that's not how you spell cat, you little squinjili. So we're just going to kick him off my desk.
I don't know if it's saved or not. I took
Really?
it back. I thought it archived all the things that were in stories under the archive section.
All right, we're going to work on that. Meatball, you're going to have to scram. You're going to have to scram, little guy. I know. What's going on with my computer here today? Morgan's going to take the phone. I'm going to give you a kiss. If you guys have been with us for a while, you kind of know the next little bit. Just wanted to go over the free things that we have for you. The We Will Always Figure It Out print, still for free, download on our website.
I'm going to try and print that this week.
Oh, exciting. She's going to make it as a print and also as a card.
I think I might also do a postcard.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? We also have our beginner's hand lettering kit, which Valerie was just talking about, that she just got in the mail. It has our booklet of basically this class. And it also has 3 of our favorite pens. It has the Pigma Micron, the Tombow, which may come in a different color than black because we're low, and then the Kuretake Fudogachi, which is kind of like a mix between the two. If you just want the booklet, that is available also on our website just as a download, so it's kind of immediate gratification. You just put your information in. It may ask you for like your shipping info, but it'll just email you a PDF once you are finished with the process. So that is available. We also have our line guides. Hold on. Line guides available for download on our website. So if you have a printer at home and you want
Totally
to
free.
practice on these guys are free. We have them in the just blank guides. We also have script guides that offer a little bit of a slant, so that helps you practice your angles. Those are free for you guys. If you guys want to DM us, we will give you free words of encouragement, like you're doing awesome, don't give up, this is gonna pass.
Yeah, give us some pictures too of what you're working on at home. It's been a while since anybody sent pictures.
Yeah, we have a hashtag Hashtag lettering with Ladyfingers. Show us what you're working on. We'd love to see. We'd love to share it. And
let's cheer each other on.
yeah, why not? What else are you doing? Watching The Tiger King? I mean, I don't blame you. It was kind of exciting. We have 2 episodes left. Don't tell us what happens. I can't. Well, I know.
Wait, hold on. We got to back up. So my favorite part about The Tiger King was actually that I went into our shop right before the stay-at-home order went into effect here in Colorado, and we thought we wouldn't be able to ship anymore. That's our child.
It's not a tiger we have hanging out in
the stay-at-home order was going in place, and we had some online orders to ship out. So it was like 1 a.m, and I was talking with Lorna, and those of you who have shopped in our store know that Lorna is our only employee there. She also happens to be my mom.
She's amazing.
But it was 1 a.m, and I was kind of freaked out because I was downtown by myself and no one was there, and I was trying to ship all these orders, and she was telling me like a synopsis of The Tiger King, which is like better than actually watching it, was getting someone to explain it to me.
Yeah, if you're like a 6-year-old woman explaining The Tiger King, it's pretty.
I mean, it made me so happy, and I just definitely loved it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up Tiger King tonight, I think.
Yeah. Tomorrow I may arrive with a new haircut. I'm thinking I might, just take a little
get
off
a
the
mullet,
sides, a little bleach the top a little bit. I am
as long as you don't try to get a second wife, you'll be fine. Okay.
That seems to be the trend, huh?
Right on that show.
I'm not sure what the story is there.
If you don't know what we're talking about, it's a show on Netflix.
It's really a good way to be passing the time.
Okay.
If you thought your life was a train wreck,
maybe watch The Tiger King.
Maybe watch The Tiger King, yeah. Okay, so today we're going to do the letter K. It is one of my most favorite letters to draw because there's a little bit of a sneaky trick in the middle of it, and I will show you and I'll explain later. But we are going to go through the script alphabet, in order. We're going to do a sans serif alphabet in a mono weight, and also a sans serif alphabet that has a little bit of a contrast. Then we're going to skip over to a serif alphabet, and then we're going to do the script alphabet. We're going to do an uppercase K and a lowercase k in all of those styles. So you should be okay with the letter K after this lesson. Sorry, I can't turn it off. I just can't. Okay, you ready? Should we party? Let's do it.
All right, we have this really high-tech setup that involves propping an iPhone against this plant.
It's totally real. It's a totally real plant.
We are in discussions with one another between all the screaming children to put together like a really professional hand lettering class
where we're gonna prop our phone up against a real plant.
Not a plastic one. But here we are. We're working with what we got, and that is how we got to this point. Mm-hmm. So I think we're all propped up. But if anybody here is an online producer of classes, you just DM us. We'd love to chat. Okay.
And you can tell us what kind of plant we should use to prop up our next camera.
Okay.
So, letter K.
On screen. You're good to go.
Here we go. So, we are going to start with our mono-weight style, which means one weight, which basically means like 0 contrast, which basically means the stroke of the stroke is consistent throughout the entire letter form. So when we're drawing our capital letter K, we're going to draw it like an illustration. So we're drawing the outer shape of it. We're not going to rely on our handwriting. We're going to be relying on our drawing skills here. And we're kind of going. Oh, she just woke up. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. So we have 2 twins who just turned 4 months old the other day. Morgan, as you probably saw, she had one Roland on her body she was wearing, and then Frankie, the other twin, just woke up from a nap, so she's going to come down and bring her. So as you can see, I started with that little outer shell, the shape, that tall rectangle, from the baseline to the cap line, because we're drawing a capital letter K, and that's usually where those lines go to. And our next shape that we are going to draw to create this form is our arm. And that's also going to go up to the cap line. and fall somewhere in this area below the mean line, which is the line where our lowercase letters go up to, so like A and E and O, that's where those all sit. We're going to fill that in, and I'm really going to try my best to make this shape as even and as consistent as possible with the first shape, although you'll see I'm using my eraser here to kind of correct that. If you guys are using an iPad, that's awesome. I recommend using Procreate, the app Procreate, or Adobe Sketch. If you guys have a setup like this where you have an iMac that's running Catalina, you can go up here on the top and use an iPad Pro as your display, and that way you can bring Photoshop onto your iPad, which is really cool. But also, if you're just working at home, pencil and paper work really great, pencil and eraser, or if you're using a black pen, you can use like a white pen, like a white jelly roll or like a white paint pen, to kind of create some negative space or sort of like erase that pen mark. So now that we have our arm here kind of sitting somewhere in this like lower quadrant of the bottom of the letter, we're going to create our little leg here. And the goal is to, and you might want to try to like sort of hash that out a little bit so you can get placement. You want the bottom to be just slightly further out than the top, just by like a little bit. You don't want it to be too drastic. And I'm looking at this letter form, and the K can be a little tricky to do in a mono-weight style because you're basically making 1, 2, 3 shapes, and you're trying to get them all in the same width together. And I'm noticing that my little leg here is a little bit thick, so I'm going to try to just shave that back with my eraser a little bit and see if I can create a little bit more consistency here. And I'm going to probably have to adjust that junction there, that bracket, because now you see that's a little bit it was a little bit what do you call it, a little bit rounded here, and I don't really want a rounded shape. I want it to be a little bit more 90, or not, yeah, well, not really 90 degree, but much more of a angular, sharp junction. Okay, so that's my lowercase k. Notice that, you have this kind of relationship between the arm and the leg, almost as if it's like a 90-degree angle. It looks very similar, but it's not quite. And again, you want that leg to come out, just a little bit further than the arm up here on the top. And that is because, all uppercase letters have this sort of organic tendency to relate back to like more organic forms in nature. Like think about like the human body, where you have a smaller on the top and then nice like wide legs. You kind of look like an alien, but you get the idea. Is she laying down?
She went back to bed.
Oh, she did. Oh, good job, Frankie. So you have, nice wide base, smaller on the top. So naturally, these natural forms take on a very smaller at the top, bigger at the bottom shape. So if you can remember that when you're drawing your letter forms, would be good. If you try bringing this arm all the way out to where your leg is, it's gonna look pretty like symmetrical, and it's gonna just look a little bit funny. It's almost gonna be like,
I would do a little zoom down.
This, it almost will look like your top is going to be falling over a little bit, even though it will be, pretty much symmetrical. Symmetry, for some reason, equals falling over in typography. So just try to keep that taller shape a little bit smaller than the bottom shape. And if you want to draw a bunch of these Ks, but maybe stop. Maybe like don't draw 3 in a row. Maybe draw 2 in a row, or like more than 3, just in case somebody comes and looks over your shoulder and they're like, "What happened to you over this pandemic? You turned into a white nationalist." So yeah, you don't want to look like a Nazi, but you also want to practice your Ks. So it's delicate territory here. draw a bunch of those. You can draw it in a, a wider, wider stroke, very bold and very extended. But again, just as practice, you want to try to make that those strokes equal mostly in balance. And you'll notice that this came almost to the bottom here. You see that? How low that is? That's okay as long as you have your outer shape coming. And, extended and bold letters have their own set of challenges, but it's probably good to start drawing them so that you're familiar with them and aware of what those challenges are within your own capacity of drawing them, and so that the next time you draw one, you think, maybe I might want to connect a little bit higher next time. So let's draw again. Hope nobody just tunes in right now while I'm drawing 3 Ks in a row. If you are, I promise you, I'm cool, I'm chill, I'm not a racist, I promise. I swear I'm not a racist, says racist probably. So yeah, let's throw that a little bit towards the top a little bit, just so there's a little bit more of a balance. That looks a little bit better to me as a bold and extended letter form. So that's kind of an interesting little exercise right there. Just you could see the difference between, really connecting that bracket lower on the bottom here and making it a little bit higher in the extended letter form. Let's draw one more. Let's draw one more of these sort of original shaped Ks with a little bit of a higher bracket, just so you can kind of see the difference, because we just had that example with the with the bold and extended K, just to get an idea of how that looks. Your leg will also almost look really, really, really long, but that may be like maybe that's like a style that you like. Maybe that's something you want your K to look like. I happen to prefer this lower setting, but a taller setting is not bad. I would probably recommend against making a K that sort of pinches right in the middle. It kind of just looks really funny to me. Let me see. Oh no, I probably need to make that.
Hey, do you know where that backup battery power thing is?
It is on the arm of the couch next to the space egg.
Okay.
We have this baby, I think it's called a mamaroo, but we just call it the space egg because it just looks like an egg from outer space, and it rocks your baby for you, and it's a little weird. All right, so I'm trying to demonstrate here how funny a K looks if you just kind of pinch it right to the stem. Like, that just looks totally crazy. So that's why we don't do that. We also don't really do Ks like set out a little bit further. So let me see if I can show you what I mean. I guess you could kind of do something like that. This option is better than that option, because at least you could say that, oh, this is connecting to that arm right there, but it is very, okay, I would say this is probably acceptable, but that's not. All right, so let's draw some lowercase k's, and we are about to learn the little trick I was telling you about, the secret hidden little secret about the lowercase k. So as you guys probably have been following by now, lowercase letter forms that have an ascender, like a D or a B, go to your ascender line, which is taller than your capital line. And that you can see, let me zoom back into these original, lines here. So cap line goes up to here. We are going to go up to this ascender line, ascent line, whatever you want to call it, with our lowercase k. But the other kind of funny thing is, okay, so you have these arms and these legs, but where do those go to? Do those also go to the ascent line? No, because that would be crazy, and it looks almost like a giant capital K, but taller than a capital K. Your lowercase k, actually, the arm goes to the mean line and down back to the baseline. Is that crazy or what? Because in my mind, I was always like, well, K's, you have these long arms that go on forever. But lowercase k's, sitting down here in the mean line where all of your other lowercase letters sit. So kind of a cool little trick there. I'm going to delete that line so I can draw a better looking rectangle here. We're going to go up to the up to the ascent line. And I like, just because, I kind of associate monoweight letter forms with more geometric shapes. I'm trying to really keep these as square as possible, but you'll notice that I have a little bit of, thickness to my brush, so they're sort of naturally a little bit round. So I'm going to try to maintain that thickness while I go up to the mean line. And again, we're going to kind of try to just inch it out just so slightly so that it's just a little bit smaller than the top, but not too, you don't want it like, way out here. That's really crazy. So try to just make it a little bit reasonably relative to the distance of the arm. That even seems really far out to me. But I just deleted the first go, so I'm going to try to do this again. I hear Frankie again. Maybe she's really up this time. Okay, so again, reiterating, our monoweight style is equal here, equal here, equal here, and that is a lowercase k. We are going to jump into a lettering style of sans serif. So we have sans serif. Sans meaning the absence of a serif. And for those of you who've been following, you know what a serif is. A serif is these little feet at the end of your letter. Latin serif feet. If you want to make little sneakers, think of it that way. With some socks, that is a serif. So with sans serif, sans is without. So we are going to get rid of those guys. Because we don't need those. We don't need those where we're going. I'm going to refine that again. That looks really like my lowercase k little peg leg now. Arr, mateys, let's continue drawing some sans serif letter forms, shall we? Okay, let's draw some sans serif with some contrast. We are going to skip on over down here. We're going to start with our uppercase K. And again, I'm going to show you guys my little trick about when to make things thick and when to make things thin. Your up and down stems are always thick. Your crossbars are always thin. Your downstrokes to the left are always thin, and your downstrokes to the right are always thick. So remember that as we move forward, because we are going to be combining these three shapes with our letter K. So I'm preparing you for this, what's ahead here. So we're going to draw our uppercase sans serif K with some contrast. We're going to give ourselves a nice sturdy stem here. And then, hi Frankie, how's it going? Oh, Roland's crying now, huh?
Yeah, I think.
Do you want to try putting her in the little seat here? Has she eaten?
She hasn't eaten.
Okay.
I'm wondering if you could maybe pause and answer some questions while you feed Frankie.
All right, let's do this. All right, this is going to be parenting during the quarantine.
Sorry,
everybody. We can talk about the letter K. You can tell me about your favorite part of the class so far. You guys have any questions?
Maybe you have a different question about Ladyfingers. We're both going to feed a baby.
Morgan made some delicious homemade pizza dough. Unbelievable. And she's gluten-free, and she's discovered this flour that is so good.
Okay, now I can see. Anybody has questions, they'll pop up, and we're each feeding one baby.
Or if you want to say happy birthday, these guys are 4 months. No, they were born the day before Thanksgiving, November 27th.
Perfect for retail.
Yeah. 2 days before Black Friday, these guys were born. 3 days before Small Business Saturday. And every year, their birthday is going to be around the same time of the year. So I hope you get guys like stocking shelves for your birthdays and ringing orders and packing up orders.
Let's hope.
But yeah,
everybody who's joining us, this is a hand lettering class.
Yeah, we promise. We just, we've been really trying our best to.
Oh, someone wants to know how Chonk the squirrel is.
Oh, Chonk, yeah. Well, Chonk is doing good, man. Chonk is crazy. We have to take out. So we have a yard between our house and our garage where we put our trash out, and like we can't even
recycle.
Yeah, sorry. The compost goes through the front of the house, but yeah, we can't even put our trash bag out the back door without Chonk eating our trash like raccoon, like bear style, right? Not normal. I've never had squirrels attack my trash before. It's like weird. It must be maybe the hybrid. Maybe he's like part
squirrel,
lemur.
part rat.
Yeah, part rat. Maybe he's a rat squirrel. Do those things exist?
I think they are kind of like rats.
I feel like if there was ever a place that had rat squirrel hybrids, would be New York City.
Sure.
But I don't really want to think about that. I mean, I've seen some squirrels with really ratty tails, but I thought they were just unhealthy. I used to live in New York when I was going to school there at Parsons. I lived in an apartment in Chinatown. This was before it was cool. I was so cool back then. No, it was just all I could afford. And I had this basement apartment, and my bedroom window faced the street, and the window was right on the street level where all the trash was collected. It's probably why my rent was so cheap. But man, that was the smelliest friggin' apartment ever. That was bad. That was a bad apartment. But yeah, I lived in New York for like $500 in Manhattan.
Next to the trash pickup.
Next to the trash, yeah. My rats were my friends. And then I went to, if you're curious about this story, I ended up doing a term abroad after I lived there. I went to study at Central St. Martin's in London, and I sublet my apartment, and when I came back, my stinking roommate...
Careful, they could be watching.
I don't care. If I ever see this guy, I swear I'm going to punch him in the nose. He threw all my stuff out, and he was like, oh, sorry, yeah, no, my friend's going to live here now. So then I came back to New York, and I didn't have anywhere to live. And I had, all of my stuff was my family, furniture on my photos my dad gave me, my childhood bed. It was just stuff that meant a lot. It wasn't just IKEA stuff. I was so mad. So yeah, Paul.
Have you suspended your therapy appointments recently?
Yeah, I'm really raging. I'm like, I remember all the time. All this time away from the studio just gives me so much time to go back and think about all this, all the good times, Whew. But yeah, living in New York was good. I'm really, we still have a bunch of friends living in the city, and
thinking about everyone who's there right now and what a scary time it is.
They're sending us pictures of the crazy white boat floating down in the Hudson, and I'm just like, you guys, it's a really terrible time to go on a cruise right now. But you know what I'm talking about, the white boat with
the patients who are going on the boat are not sick. They're other ICU patients. They're trying to separate.
Oh, that makes sense. Wow.
Yes.
Well, I hope it's a nice boat for them.
Yeah.
I hope they get lots of nice.
How was London? People want to know.
Oh man, it was amazing. I almost transferred there. I called my mom. I called my the chair of my department. I was like, send my transcripts over. I'm staying. It was such a great program, and I really loved the city. But it was the spring after 9/11. And everyone was freaking out. My mom's like, there's a war going on. You can't live in... I'm like, this isn't World War II. But little did I know, everything was really changing very quickly. So I ended up coming back and finishing my BFA at Parsons. But I really wanted to stay at Central St. Martin's. It was a really cool program. And it just made a lot more sense to me. It was a very holistic idea, approach to the design education, it was less like, okay, now you have typography class, and now you have this class, and in these like separate things. Like your whole course was informing this one project that you were working with. And London was just such a cool city. I loved it. Very, very cool. Maybe one day we'll have a Ladyfingers London, or maybe not. Probably not.
There's a great trade show there called Top Shelf that I've always wanted to like go to.
Is that a trade show for
Top Drawer, not Top Shelf?
Top Drawer. So that's
I'll
for.
take Top Shelf.
Is that a gift show or is that a stationery show?
Both. It has.
Okay, so kind of similar to like the National Stationery Show or the New York Now, combined into one. That's nice. You guys familiar with the big trade shows that happen in New York? They all used to happen at the Javits Center, but now Javits is now a hospital. Is that right?
Yeah, they've converted it into beds, which is pretty incredible.
If you couldn't imagine that place getting any more depressing. What's a hospital?
I think it's great. I mean, like,
that's
totally remarkable use of resources.
I 100% agree, but man, have we had some. Just the thought of being in the Javits just makes me feel exhausted.
The last time we were there, they lost our $20,000 trade show booth crate that was like the size of like 8 by 10 by 12 foot crate.
The Honda Odyssey.
And it.
How do you lose a crate?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of reasons and ways, but yes, you can see the screen again. Sorry, we are having a baby feeding break.
Sorry,
we have both babies in the room right now, and everybody needed a feeding break. So we're gonna get back to the screen in a minute. We just had to pause.
Do you want to finish feeding Frankie if he's done?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and put him in the chair. We'll see if he squeals.
Whew. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you guys for your patience.
Hold on, Brody.
Yeah, you're a champion.
Good job.
You're an all-star. You win. Yes, you win.
Here we go.
Here's the Franks.
Give me that baby.
Oh, little Frankers. She might need a
Look,
burp.
let's show her cute outfit today.
Oh,
It has a duck on the butt.
duck butt. She probably needs a burp. Okay, so
All right.
we're back. Can you hook me up to the screen here?
Yeah. Will you move the plant back? I got one arm.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're in here, hon. So now we're back to the professional side of our parenting professional class here. We are going to do some sans serif with contrast now. In contrast, we're going to combine these smaller strokes with the thicker strokes. So because we're going to be drawing a line now that is similar to this upward stroke to the right, we're going to make it just like a slightly thinner than our main stroke here. And then if you remember the rule, our other stroke is pretty similar in width to that stem there. So we're going to come back and give ourselves a thicker stroke there.
Maybe zoom in a smidge.
Okay.
There you go.
So you'll see that this, like, it's not a huge contrast. It's still very mild compared to that. You know, if you wanted something with a really, really high contrast, you could do something like this, like a little bit more modern. Whoa. Whoa, Frankie.
That's not Frankie, it's Roland.
Oh, how do you even keep track? So this is, this is low contrast, this is high contrast. So if that helps to illustrate the point. I'm going to scoot along because we are low on time because of our little baby break. We are now going to do the serif alphabet. Oh wait, we didn't do our lowercase k with contrast. We're going to do that first, sorry. And we're going to go up to our ace underline. Sorry, folks. Forget I said that. And we're going to give ourselves a little bit of contrast here up to the mean line. Going to sort of square that off up here.
So cute.
Such a cute tiny little cake. Excuse me. And if you wanted to do a lowercase k with that really high contrast like we did before for the uppercase K, it would look something like that. All right, moving on. Now we get to do our serif. What I do, if you've watched this class before, you're going to notice that I make my serif as part of the initial stroke.
Little zoom in might be good.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
I'm basically making a letter I.
Gio's in the house.
Hey, Gio. Start with our capital I. We are going to make our arm here with the serif only coming off of that left-hand side. And then our leg here with our serif just coming off to that right-hand side. And now with our lowercase k, we're going to also do our... Oh, you know what? Actually, with my lowercase k, I just do it off to the left on the top. And the reason I draw my serifs all in one stroke is because I really like the bracket that it creates when you are not lifting your pen. I like the way that you're... I just like the shape when it is drawn from like one origin rather than trying to piece shapes together. So over here we're going to draw our stem, our arm, and then our leg here. And if you guys want to practice a little bit more, you can practice some more serifs. More locations of the serifs. I actually think I messed up on this one. You do a full serif on the arm on the uppercase. You don't do it on the lowercase. But, yesterday I was chatting with my friend Jeremy Mickle of Mickle Type because he had chimed in on our class with the letter I. And I got really nervous because he's really good, and you're just like, anytime you're in the presence of greatness, you're like, oh, am I doing this right? And so I always teach my lowercase I, where I tell people to put the dot like right up to the cap line. And he was like, I'm actually working on a typeface right now where my dot, my tittle is just like a little bit lower because he has accents that go to the cap line. And he was like, you don't want those to interfere. So he was like, really, yes, very verbal right now. So the moral of the story is, usually my dots go to the top, but if it looks better for them to be lower, Rolly's like, yeah, the tittles, they can go anywhere. All right, lowercase k's. And with our serifs, you can really do some chunkier serifs if you really like. You could do like a little slab serif, get some real character, get some real personality here. Why not? Just get a little bit loose.
Melly?
Yes, honey.
I tried.
What's up, baby?
I fought you in the hallway, but I thought I was going to my car.
You were on your cot.
Nobody was there for me to talk.
Oh, honey, we would never leave you. And we're always here to listen.
Yeah, Gio has been watching his iPad on a camping cot because it's cool.
Well,
So-
it reminds him of school.
Yeah.
And he said he missed school today, and that's how you really know when you miss your school, that you've been home a long time.
Yeah. He's in preschool, so he doesn't have any like online classes or anything to do. So this is a more modern style serif where it's really thin hairline. So you can really experiment with the different sizes of your serifs when you do a serif letterpress. Kind of cool. And now we're going to do our script Ks. we are going to start with the capital script K. Rolly, do you want to move him over here?
He's just talking no matter where he is.
Okay. One of our little boy twin is really has quite a personality. So we're going to start our K. If you remember when we drew our uppercase I, very similar to that, in the same way that we drew our serif K, starting with this letter I shape. The script shape is also going to start with that I. We're going to try to make a pretty, use this like pretty smooth S shape as our arm. And you can lift your pen. Oops.
Hi, buddy.
Hold on a minute. There we go. And I really just brought down this leg to show that you can really pull that out, make it really nice. Oh, you know what I got to do is I have to enable my script lines. Okay. Okay. Do you want to take him with you?
No, I'm gonna leave them both here.
Okay, I have a room full of children here, people. Watch out. So here is that angle again. We're really going to try to follow that angle with our script alphabet. Because this line is going up to the right, it's going to be thin, and because this is going down to the right, it is going to be thick. And what I did here is I lifted my pen up and then I drew another shape. You can draw. Oops, sorry. And you can do this and kind of loop around if you like. And then give yourself that stroke. And if you really feel so inspired, you can even take that leg down.
I'm not sure she wants touches right now, Gio.
And give yourself a little bit of a fun little ornament there. I think what I'd like to do is after we're finished with the letter Z, we're going to come back and practice a bunch of decorative shapes here. Just so that you guys have some more practice about those. If you guys have any other ideas about classes that you would like to see, let us know and we can definitely entertain those. Something I would like to point out is this letter K has 1, 2, 3, sort of 4 terminals here, 4 entry points, entry and exit points. So anytime you have a terminal or a place where it ends or it starts, in the script alphabet, you are just like welcome to really draw those out, pull out those points to do something a little bit more creative and decorative with it. So for example, you can make a K that looks something just really decorative and ornamental like this. But again, you have to really keep in mind what is happening around this other letter K. Is there stuff that these things are going to be hitting? Are you leaving enough room for the other part of your composition that happens down below? Let's say your capital K and my spine now is coming out, just to kind of show you guys a little bit of variety. You can point it out or you can pull it back in, whatever you feel works best for you. But let's do something like this where, for example, you could use that leg of your K to act as a crossbar to another part of your composition. So, when you're drawing a layout, when you're drawing a composition, just kind of do a rough. Rolly. Do like a rough pencil sketch just to kind of place things out. So you can say to yourself, okay, I'm going to want this word here, and this is going to come down, and I have these opportunities to...
Is she missing the hair on the back of her head?
to do some more creative stuff with, but these are your real chances to take things out, pull them out, interact with other letters. So have a lot of fun and creativity with that. I'm going to draw our lowercase k before we run out of time. And if you guys have been following this class, you'll know that our first step is to kind of come up from the baseline, almost to the mean line, but not quite. And we're gonna sort of jog it out up to the 8th ascent line. We're gonna fill up that form there. And then we're gonna start somewhere here in the middle of the stem, and we're gonna pull this out. And I usually don't pick up my pen when I get to this point in the middle. I just kind of come back and I kick it out, but then I come back, I lift my pen, and I give myself the thickness here on the little bowl of the K. I really like drawing lowercase k's.
Gio, honey, she might want some space.
So let's try drawing that again. We're gonna come up a little bit, kick it out, come down, join. Oh, Frankie.
Let's give Frank some space. That's nice. Shushing for her. Thank you.
And sometimes I like having this like little pinched, you know, kind of like, this is like zoomed in a little bit, sort of like pinched, like sort of knife shape at the end of my letter, my terminal here. Sometimes I like it squared off. It you know, it depends. Let's do a squared off one for this version because this one's a little bit pointy there. But again, we start here in the middle, and we're gonna jog out. I'm gonna give my complete my thickness here. And sometimes I really like drawing my lowercase k's with a little bit more of like little bit more of like an angular bowl like that. Almost like it's echoing the shape of a lowercase s. But I feel like sometimes that's nice. It's almost like I'm maintaining the distance between that loop. And I think maybe that's why I like it. I'm not sure, but I just like that it has a little bit more character to the letter form there. And if you're wondering why we do this little jog here, like this, it's because if you just kind of come out straight to that letter K, it gets a little bit, it just gets a little, just messy in here. I just feel like it just gets a little pinched, just gets a little bit muddy. At least here you have a little bit more negative space here, and then a little bit more negative space here, which really helps to form that letter. So let's draw a word that has the letter K in it. Let's do one that we have already done some letters of. Let's do the word back. So this, we're going to start with our B. Again, we're going to kind of jog it out. We're going to give ourselves that stem. Going to give ourselves the bowl. We're going to jump into that A. And again, we're lifting our pen up, and we're starting that C. And then jogging out again. So let's also give some thickness to that bowl of the B. Filling in our thicknesses. Remember, it's kind of like a little ribbon that you're twisting. If you want to twist that ribbon, there's always that pinched part there. And then we're just kind of thickening up our letter forms and really trying to pinch that ribbon so that it's as really like seamless as possible. So there is our back here. Something you could also do with this word is if you wanted to just make if you wanted your stem of your B, let's say, I'm going to just like redraw this stem real fast. So you could do something like, you know, because you're not, you know, coming from a word before or a letter before, there's nothing coming before this B here, you can kind of treat this stem of your B as So you can, you know, do some more creative stuff like that if you so wish. Or you can keep it like that. That is another option too. Okay, we are coming up on our time where we must say goodbye. I'm going to steal the phone for a second so we can see if there's any questions while we sort of things here. I had to step away. Oh, pretty please, could I see the screen again? Sorry. Oh, Carla! Carla was our intern. She's from London. We were just talking about London, Carla, and how much we love it and how much we miss you. Oh, what great moms you are. We try, man. We try real hard. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us with the letter K today. We had a blast. Thank you for being patient while we fed our kids. We'll try to do a better job next time. If you guys enjoyed this class, we are so psyched. We're doing this for you. We're doing this so that we can all stay connected and practice together and sort of get better at doing something while we are all home and flattening the curve. We do have a Venmo in case you are someone who may still be getting a paycheck or want to be supporting small businesses. We have really seen a big difference in our business, like all small businesses have. So if you guys feel like making a donation, we have a Venmo account. It's Arley Rose, ARLEYROSE. And that is our Venmo account. If you guys want to drop us a couple bucks, that would be awesome. Or coffee, like some people have sent us, which is amazing.
And if you can't,
understand. No worries. We know what it's like. And you guys just being here and joining us in this time is wonderful enough. So
share your pictures.
Share your pictures, tag it, hashtag lettering with Ladyfingers, and we will check it out and we'll reshare it. And don't forget to wash your hands, and don't forget to not touch your face, and don't forget to write some snail mail. Now's a good time to do that. So we hope to see you guys all again tomorrow, and good luck with everything. Have a great night. Getting the letters, working on connecting them. Yes, we will be doing a class like that. Is that my cousin Susan? Knitmore124? Is that my cousin Susan? Susan, is that you? I think that might be you. I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. Anyway, we are going to be adding some more classes at the end of this alphabet: spacing, connecting the letters, numbers, punctuation.
Looks like we're going to be here till
ornament.
the end of April at least.
Yeah, we're going to be here to the end of April, so let's do this all together. Anyway, thank you guys. Love you all. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.